You know, the United States of America was the greatest country before Trump, and it's the greatest country now after Trump. The white supremacists want to go back. They want to go back to the days when it was legal to own slaves.
You are about to be entertained by the ape, the young man who has become a legend of his own time. You must answer. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Oh, I love that. I love that. You can't handle the truth. Can you handle the truth? If you can't, turn your radio off. What's up, everybody? Yours truly, Ron Kelly, the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program. July 18th, 2024. Welcome, everybody, and thank you so much for joining the R on the radio today. It's the Ron Kelly Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the RonKellyShow.com, and all, of course, social media spectrum, streaming, I should say, live right now on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Ron Kelly Show YouTube channel. It's getting kind of lonely over there, so if you please, just go on over there and subscribe. Click the like button, subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Anyway, it's just a couple minutes past the hour. Oh, drama in Washington, D.C. Is Biden going to leave? Is he going to stay? And if he does leave, who's going to replace him? Is it Kamala Harris? Is it Andy Beshear, the governor of Kentucky? Is it somebody else? Gretchen Whitmer? Is it, it's just a whole bunch of drama. So should Biden leave or stay? I'll tell you what. I think that he should leave. And I like President Biden. Don't get me wrong. He's done a lot. And I really like Biden. But Biden should leave. I'm going to get into that in just a second. Also, Project 2025. Oh, boy. I mean, have you read it? If you haven't, you should. Project 25 and the innards and the workings of that and what's going to happen if Trump, who denies even knowing anything about it, that's a lie. So we can find out what's the story with the Project 2025. We'll talk about that in a minute. Also, whatever happened to Black Lives Matter? What happened? Because there's certain cities, certain towns you drive through and you see where this Black Lives Matter used to be painted on the street, usually the main drag. In some places, Ron Kelly Show originates from New Jersey, so I've seen it in Patterson, I've seen it in South Orange and some other places where the Black Lives Matter, Newark, where the Black Lives Matter that was painted on the ground is no longer there because cars going across it. And it's never been repainted, and it wasn't painted in the same paint that they used to paint the lines on the street. I'm wondering why they didn't paint it and that way it would have lasted longer. So was it meant to go away? And did Black Lives Matter oblige everybody? We'll talk about that too in just a minute. Anyway, it's 4 minutes past the hour. Thank you so much for joining me. It's the Ron Kelly Show. Off for the last couple weeks. The first week was the 4th of July. 4th of July fell on a Thursday, so I did not come on. And I know, a couple people said, hey, maybe you should let people know when you're not going to be on the radio because we're looking for you and you're not there. So, okay. The next time I'm not on the radio, I will definitely let you know, which will probably be August 1st. But anyway, thanks so much for joining me, everybody. So, is Biden stay or go? Biden stay or go? And a couple of people asked me about this, and off the air, of course. And I got to tell you, I got mixed feelings about Biden staying or going. But shout out to Anthony Moriano, who gave me the thumbs up just now. Appreciate you, Anthony. And thank you so much for joining me. Yeah, so Biden should go. Biden should go. And I'll tell you why. Because, you know, he just looks, I mean, the optics are terrible. First of all, that disastrous debate he had with Trump, and Trump didn't win the debate. Biden lost the debate. Let me say it again. Trump didn't win that debate because he lied about everything. So he didn't win the debate. But Biden clearly lost the debate. Biden would have lost if he was up there by himself. He still would have lost. He would have beat himself. I mean, or he would have defeated himself. That's how bad it was. I watched it, and it was terrible to Joe Biden, the job that he did on that debate stage. And it's not about he was tired. It's 80-something years old, you're tired all the time. It wasn't that he was tired or anything like that. It was just that he just lost. That's basically what it was. He lost. So, you know, so I do think, and like I said, the optics are terrible. You see Joe Biden, he just looks awful. You know, he looks very, he looks bad. He looks frail and feeble. And that's not how you want the president of the United States to look. You know what I'm saying? Trump ain't a whole lot better, but he's a alternative. Because just like Biden got the never Trumpers, Trump is going to get the never Biden voters. And people are going to vote for Trump rather than to vote for Biden. The independents, the Episcopals, you know, they're going to vote for Trump, hold their nose and vote for Trump instead of voting for Joe Biden, because the handwriting is on the wall. So all the big names, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, and some of the other folks, some of the big names in the Democratic Party are calling for Joe Biden to disappear. Basically, they're calling for Joe Biden to give up his run for the president of the United States. And I can't blame Joe Biden for wanting to be president for 4 more years. I mean, it's the greatest job in the world. You know, it might be the most annoying job in the world, but on top of that, it's the greatest job in the world to be the president of the United States of America. Look at all you get. You get a big mansion, you know, people that escort you around. You get a big jumbo jet with all the latest defensive technologies. A lot of it, we don't even know what it is. It's the safest plane in the world. You know, so you're living in the safest house in the world, and you're surrounded by 400 Secret Service agents. So planning and plotting your every move. So, hey, who wouldn't want to be president of the United States? And I don't blame Joe Biden for not wanting to give up the baton. But, hey, you know what, Joe Biden, you're 81 years old. And what a great way for you to step down from the campaign. What a great way that would be to end your political career, because you're 81 years old. And you're 81 years old, and, you know, you're like way past retirement age. You know, Joe Biden is way past the retirement age. You're 81 years old. You know, you've spent your entire career in Washington, D.C., you know, coming up through the ranks. I mean, you were a senator for a lot of years. Then you were vice president for 8 years in the United States, for 4 years, for 3.5 years. So Senate, vice president, president. I mean, any people would kill to have that kind of legacy, you know. And I think, President Biden, that you should think about that, because what's going to happen, and I was saying this earlier, that the whole Democratic Party is going to be dragged down. If Joe Biden stays on, the Democratic Party is going to be dragged down. Make no mistake about it. And a lot of the Congress people are saying, like, whoa, the Democratic Congress are saying, like, whoa, you know, and that is what's going to happen, because people are going to, they're not if they don't vote for Biden, they're not going to vote for the line. So all of the Congress people, the Democratic Congress, who are trying to win again, are going to lose. And so what's going to happen is, because the Democrats already lost the House, it's going to go down even further. We're going to have even less of a fighting amount of congressmen than we do now. In the Senate, I don't know if the Senate's going to change very much if Trump does win, but the Congress definitely is going to change. So do I think that Joe Biden should step down? Yes, I do think Joe Biden should step down. Not because he's old and all of this stuff. I mean, but he is old. We can't overlook that. And and the other thing is that the optics are just terrible, because you see him struggling to get down the stairs, struggling to get up the stairs. Air Force One. Saw him last night, and he looked frail, like he was going to break if he would have fell. He would have broken to 1,000 pieces. And those are not the optics you want for the president of the United States. So, so if he drops out, the good news would be that he dropped out. But the bad news would be like, okay, can Kamala Harris pick up the torch and run with it to the White House? Can we have our first Asian American, Black woman president, or first president at all? Can we have that? So that's the other question. And then see, because you can get other people, there's other candidates. There's a lot of rising stars in the Democratic Party, and you can pick from a handful of people who could pick up the torch and run for president in Biden's place. But now, do you dump Kamala Harris for somebody else? Do you dump her? I mean, that's the other consideration they have to take, because there's probably a few people out there that don't think Kamala Harris can win. Well, there's a lot of people who doubt she could win if she went to the top of the ticket and ran for president. But she's a formidable, campaigner. She's very smart. She can do well against Trump on the debate stage, and then Trump would have to back down a little bit from her, because he would have to back down a little bit from her because she's a woman, first of all. She's Black. So he couldn't necessarily go after her the way in his heart of hearts that he would want to go after her. He probably wants to slap her around a little bit, but he can't, because she's a woman, she's Black, she's not necessarily Asian, South Asian woman. And so he can't go after her like he would love to. So do I think that Joe Biden should step down? Absolutely. 100% Joe Biden should step down. Because that debate performance was just unbelievable. That just started the whole, the chain of events, I should say, that have taken place so far since that debate 3 weeks ago. And everybody's calling for for Biden. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Schiff, all the big names in the Democratic Party are calling for Joe Biden to step down. And, and you see, in Joe Biden's defense, the race is still close. The race is still close, but what people are focused on, what the pollsters are focusing on, and what the Democrats are focusing on is the battleground states, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. And the polls in those states show that Joe Biden can win. So it's not the overall, if you're thinking like, well, why are they doing this? It's not the overall, the national election. The Democrats are concerned with the battleground states. That's what and the electoral votes. That's what they're concerned about. Because those states, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, those states have a lot of electoral votes. So nationally, the race is close, very close, within a couple of percentage points. Trump and Biden are within a couple of percentage points nationally. But when it comes to those battleground states, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, those states, Trump is ahead of Biden, significantly enough to cause alarm in the Democratic Party. So we'll see what happens. But the countdown is on, and there are some reports that have come out that said that Joe Biden is receptive to listen to folks who want him to step down. I'm hearing that he is receptive. So we're going to see. But I definitely agree with Hakeem Jeffries and some of the other folks, big names. Hakeem Jeffries, the minority leader in the House, Chuck Schumer, the majority leader in the Senate, and so on and so forth. And the thought process right now is that Joe Biden should step down, and I 100% totally agree that Joe Biden should step down. And a footnote, Bob Menendez, right here in New Jersey, our senior senator, or used to be senior senator Bob Menendez, convicted on all counts, all 16 counts, I believe it was, wire fraud, being a foreign agent, you name it, they threw the book at him. He wasn't acquitted of anything. So now it's up to Governor Murphy, because Bob Menendez held on throughout the indictment and the run up to the trial. He held on, and Bob Menendez did not want to resign. He held on. Now he's been convicted. So now, because he even said that he would run as an independent, but now since he's been convicted, he's thinking about stepping down. And so it'll be up to New Jersey Governor Murphy. It'll be up to Governor Murphy to appoint someone, the placeholder, to hold on to that spot until the election in January. And it's nobody. I mean, there's no way that the Republicans are going to take that seat. It's just not going to happen. As a matter of fact, the Congressman Andy Kim already won the primary for that seat, and it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that he's going to win that seat. Most people just know that. So he might as well just, if it's legal, if he can, just appoint Andy Kim, because Andy Kim's going to win the seat anyway. Might as well let him get a head start on what he needs to do as a senator versus what he did as a congressman. So anyway, everybody, it's Biden should go, and can Kamala Harris beat Trump? Is the big question. Can Kamala Harris beat Trump? And I guess we'll find out if Biden decides to step down. So Biden watch is on. Everybody's looking to see if he's going to step down, including myself. And, my opinion is that he should step down. He's had a great legacy. He was a senator. He was the vice president under the first black president ever, Barack Obama. And he was the president. After he was vice president, he became president. So, Joe, you got nothing to be ashamed of. Nothing. Okay. And your legacy, he should step down. Anyway, we'll be back in a moment with more, everybody. It's about 20 minutes past the hour. We'll come back to you with much more. Shouts out to the LinkedIn family for supporting the Ron Kelly Show. One of the biggest supporters right now, actually, LinkedIn, where all the jobs are. And I'm definitely, not to sound like I'm begging, but I'm definitely up for a job other than this one. But anyway, we'll be back in a moment with more. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the Ron Kelly Show.com. Yes, indeed, I am the man. What a news cycle this is. This guy has got to go. Trump has got to go. George Floyd snuffed out by this police officer who's supposed to be serving and protecting people.
It's the Ron Kelly Show.
Everybody, the Ron Kelly Show is brought to you, or partially brought to you in part by the American Board for Transportation. 40 plus years, American Board for Transportation has been your source for reliable, safe, clean, and hassle-free transportation. And I'll talk to you more about that in just a moment. Anyway, we're back. It's 21 minutes past the hour. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program. It's broadcasting live right now on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, all across the social media spectrum. So you got no excuse. If you're not a Facebooker, you can go to YouTube. If you're not a YouTube person, you can go to LinkedIn and Vice and Turner. Anyway, it's 22 minutes past the hour. So, yeah, so we talked a little bit in, let me see. Okay, the comments have yet to come in. If you have made a comment, be patient. It'll come in just a second. Anyway, it's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio Show. So, yeah, I do think that Biden should step down. Yes, because the optics are horrible, and he should step down. And after that, he's not going to be able to recover from that debate performance. It's not going to happen. You know, I don't think it's going to happen. So he needs to step down. Anyway, everybody, it's just about 22 minutes past the hour. So whatever happened to Black Lives Matter? Whatever happened to Black Lives Matter? What happened? Ladies and gentlemen, what happened to Black Lives Matter? So it's, you know, because again, remember in the height of the Black Lives Matter movement, we had the painting, big yellow letters was being painted all across the country in different cities, mostly ones with minority populations, and they would have the Black Lives Matter written on the ground. In, you know, in yellow, bright yellow paint. But see, my issue, and now you go through those same towns, and because of traffic and weather and all types of stuff, the lines that have been drawn are gone. And the lines that Black Lives Matter have drawn are gone as well, because Black Lives Matter has ceased to exist. You know, you had the big scandal with the leader of Black Lives Matter taking some of the donated money and buying palatial homes and this type of stuff and vehicles. And Black Lives Matter couldn't survive that. But see, if they were meant to stay, why didn't they paint those letters in a different kind of paint? Like the same paint the crosswalks with, the lines going down the street, the yellow lines, the double lines. They last for long years and years and years. I mean, yeah, they wear down too eventually, but they last for years. So why didn't they paint those, paint the Black Lives Matter in the type of paint they use for crosswalks and and double lines, single line, dotted lines, whatever. They could have used that paint for that, and it would have lasted longer. So was it really meant to stand, or was it just like a symbolic gesture in a lot of towns who permitted it? No. That's the question. But you haven't seen much of Black Lives Matter. I mean, lately, you haven't seen anything. I mean, are they just going to pop their heads out when, something goes wrong? Or, is that how it's going down? They're just going to, when somebody gets shot and killed, which people have been getting shot and killed, and no sign of Black Lives Matter. No sign. So I'm wondering what's going on with them. I'm wondering what's going on with them. What's going on with Black Lives Matter? I'm wondering what's going on with Black Lives Matter, and nothing is being, they're not really doing anything. Anyway, everybody, it's about 25 minutes past the hour. This is the Ron Kelly Show. And it's on blogtalkradio.com. We got to fix that, but we're definitely on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. And the weather has been like atrocious lately. And I don't want to get into the weather, but yeah, so Black Lives Matter has kind of like disappeared from the radar since the bad press came out, because there were companies that were donating to Black Lives Matter. This is the bad press came out. Now it's, anyway, we take a break and we'll come back. I need to take a quick break. We'll come back with Mo. We'll come back with more. It's Ron Kelly Talk Radio program, and it's on Facebook, YouTube, live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn right this moment. Be back in just a second with more. It's Ron Kelly Show. the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program, and it's on live on LinkedIn. I just checked, and on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks so much for joining me today, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program. So I talked a little earlier about, and I want to know what you guys think. So you can comment. If you want to make a comment, you can comment on Facebook. You can comment on Facebook, and you can tell us what you think about the Biden debacle that's raging on right now. And the general consensus is that Biden needs to go. But see, like I said earlier, I tried to explain it the best I could earlier, that Biden and Trump Trump is not like beating Biden to death. As a matter of fact, nationally speaking, Trump and Biden are neck and neck nationally. So that's not the problem. And that's what Joe Biden is holding on to. He's like, hey, I just got to win those 3 states. And I'll be good. Oh, well, it's going to be a little tougher than that, Joe, because he's got to win Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Ohio. I mean, those states are going to be hard to win. Ohio has a Republican governor. So, those states are going to be hard to win. And it's the battleground state polls. The polls from the battleground states are what the Democrats are looking at. The polls from the battleground states, not necessarily, not the polls nationally, but the polls of the battleground states. And the polls in the battleground states are concerning. Now, I don't know what the polls are that they're looking at, but the Democrats are afraid that if Biden loses, then there'll be House and Senate members House members that'll lose too. The senators go for 6 years. The Congress goes for 2 years. I'm not quite sure why that is. But anyway, the senators stay on for 6 years once they win. Congressmen only for 2. Which seems kind of unfair, don't it? That you got to run every 2 years and the senators run every 6 years. Well, I guess because it's the Senate is the upper house and the Congress is the lower house. So I guess, being the upper house has its privileges. Anyway, everybody, it's 28 minutes before the hour. And you're listening to the Ron Kelly Show. So, so this is the issue. Not the national polls, but the polls in the battleground states show that Biden could never beat Trump in those states. And it's just getting worse and worse. Now he's got COVID and he looked so old and frail. This has got to be the biggest, age discrimination display ever. That people don't want Biden because he's old. And this is what happens to a lot of older people. People just don't want to be bothered with him. And, they live in those senior buildings and nobody ever comes to visit them unless there's a holiday or something. And, it's like you die before you die, as a senior citizen. And it's sad. But like I said, I don't blame Biden for wanting to hold on to that job. Not at all. I don't blame him. Because if I was him, I'd want to hold on to it too. Because he knows that once he steps down, his career is over for the most part. He's not going to get elected to any. I mean, once you're president, you don't run for anything else. So his career, for the most part, will be over if he steps down not from the presidency. He'll step down from campaigning, and he'll turn his votes over to Kamala Harris, who it should be, instead of because Kamala Harris could fight against Trump. She's younger than Trump. She's like a couple of decades. Trump can be her father. I believe Kamala Harris is in her 50s. Donald Trump is in his 70s. And you got to look at age, and we all look at age when it comes to things. We look at age, like you buy a car, you want to know how old it is. If you get a new girlfriend, you're shopping around, you want to know how old she is. So age counts for everything. Age counts for everything. So Joe Biden is 81 years old. And again, I don't want to, because one day I'm going to be 81 years old, hopefully. So I don't want to put his age front and center, but his age is front and center. I mean, I'm not putting it out there. It's just out there. And most of the Democrats, Hakeem Jeffries, who is the minority leader, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, the people who stuck by Biden all this time, stuck by him. And even Barack Obama, reports are out that Barack Obama, the great one, Barack Obama is not necessarily coming out and saying that Biden should step down, but Barack Obama is saying that Joe Biden should reconsider running, which, they worked together for 8 years. Joe Biden was Barack Obama's running mate. So they ran together for 8 years. They served together for 8 years, Barack Obama as president. So, you don't expect Barack Obama to just come out and say, hey, man, you should step off. No, it's not going to be like that. Lamont Gates says age and functionality are different, although also nothing in the Constitution prohibits anyone based on age or criminal conviction. Yeah, definitely, because now we got Donald Trump, who has been convicted, who is running right now, who is a felon, a convicted felon. And it's kind of weird because the felons can't vote in a lot of states. If you're a convicted felon, you can't vote. But some guy who's been convicted of multiple felonies can run, even though it's under appeal right now. And the Supreme Court did throw Trump a bone when they said that some of the things that he did under the color of authority, he cannot be prosecuted for. So they threw him a bone, But the Project 2025 is like scary stuff. That's scary stuff. And I'll address that in a minute. But again, Lamont Gates says age and functionality are different. Also, nothing in the Constitution prohibits anyone based on age or criminal conviction. And boy, it's just amazing. Anyway, let me see. I'll take a break and I'll come back with more of this program. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the RonKellyShow.com. All right, everybody, we're back. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the RonKellyShow.com. Streaming live right now on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and elsewhere. Anyway, it's okay. I was just looking at my phone with some idiocy that's going on right now amongst some associates through my associates. Anyway, everybody, it's 21 minutes before the hour, and you're listening to the Ron Kelly Talk Radio show. Thank you to Mark Gates for your comment. Project 25 or Project 2025 is like the scariest thing that I've seen. The scariest thing that I've seen in a long time. Project 25. And Trump claims not to know anything about it. And he does that. He lies a lot. Now, Project 2525 is a collection of conservative and right-wing, extreme right-wing proposals published by the Heritage Foundation, we all know who that is, to reshape the United States government, consolidate executive power, should the Republican nominee, presumably Donald Trump, win the 2024 election. The project asserts that the entire executive branch is under direct control of the president, should be under direct control of the president under Article 2 of the U.S. Constitution and the unitary executive theory. Now, it proposes reclassifying tens of thousands of federal civil service workers as political appointees. So, because once you deem federal civil service workers as political appointees, you can just remove them. There won't be a law. There won't be a union. And see, that's the whole thing, because they think because the Republicans and the right wingers and the crazy and deranged kook fringe Republicans have decided that, okay, we can't break the law, so we'll change the law. And that's definitely what this is. We classify tens of thousands of federal civil workers as political appointees. So in order to replace them with loyalists, with Trump loyalists who would put in place Trump's policies, which would destroy the United States government the way it is today. The project seeks to infuse the government society with Christian values. So is Christian to grab him by the pussy, Donald Trump? Is that Christian? Critics have categorized Project 2025 as an authoritarian Christian nationalist plan to steer the U.S. toward autocracy. Many legal experts have said it would undermine the rule of law, separation of powers, and separation of church and state. We go right out, and civil liberties. So, as a black man, so we're looking at the Civil Rights Act, the Voting Rights Act being dispatched. No more. Civil Rights Act, Voting Rights Act, gone. Miranda warnings. Can the police? Can it be basically? We'll turn it to Russia. Basically, that's what this is about. Will be Kim Jong-un. Will be North Korea. Will be China. Will be Russia, where you can crash in anybody's house. You don't need a warrant. Just go ahead, because there won't be any more government. There won't be separation of church and state. So there's churches, you definitely better be looking, because guess what? If Project 2025 is enacted, to all those millions of dollars that the churches, the mega churches, the Joel Osteens and, all those people, they're going to have to pay taxes on that money. So the church should be scrambling. The church should be scrambling to get rid. They should be scrambling to donate money. I don't know if the church can donate money to an election. I guess politics and churches don't go together. So I don't know if the churches can donate money. But this is going to be ridiculous. See, because this is going to be a nightmare. It's going to be a nightmare. Project 2025, and what really bothers me about that, among all other things, is that Trump claims he doesn't know anything about it. Now, come on, they designed that for him. They were betting that Trump would become president so they can implement that Project 2025. So, illegal search and seizure and Miranda and all of those things we enjoy today. If you tell the police you're in a precinct or whatever, they have you in the room and You tell the police you want a lawyer, they got to stop. Under Project 2025, they don't have to stop. You know, they don't have to give you tell you your Miranda right. There'll be no appeals for anything. There'll be no deals. You know, you heard what he said about the immigrants, the migrants, the ones that are standing around by the ones that are standing around by the Home Depot are going to get rounded up and they're going to be out. He's talking about putting them in internment camps. So y'all can sit around, you can sit around and, oh, it'll never affect me. Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is, because any rights that we have today are going to be gone. Voting Rights Act, Civil Rights Act, all of the, separation of church and state, all of those things, churches being classified as not-for-profit, 501c3, all of that stuff is going to be gone. Y'all, you need to read that Project 2525 so you can see what the hell is going on. Because if Trump wins and that they put that in place, it's going to be hell. Basically, it's going to be hell if they put that in place. I promise you. Okay, everybody, it's what is it now? It's 14 minutes before the hour. Yeah, so Project 2025, which Trump claims not to know anything about, which I'm pretty sure is a bald-faced lie. That's what Trump does. But again, when we had the election, we had the debate. We had the debate, and again, Biden didn't lose the debate. I mean, Trump didn't lose. Biden lost. Trump didn't win the debate. I meant to say Biden didn't win the debate, or Trump didn't win the debate. I'm sorry, Trump didn't win the debate. Biden lost the debate on his own because nothing Trump said meant anything because it was all lies anyway. So, Trump lied, Biden tried, both failed. It was my post on LinkedIn shortly thereafter. So, 13 minutes before the hour. So, I mean, it was horrible. It was, you had, how you watch a horror movie and you peek to see what's going on. You just open your fingers and peek. That's how I was watching that debate. It was painful to watch. And Biden lost it on its own, because Trump didn't beat him. Trump didn't beat Biden. You could see it was clear that he didn't. Trump did not beat Biden. Biden beat himself with those horrible answers and the stammering and the stuttering. And like I said, the optics are bad because people would say, because people want the president to ride in on a white horse. They want a Barack Obama who was shooting hoops, or at the time, a George Bush Jr. who used to run and have a whole phalanx of Secret Service agents running with him. Biden tried to ride a bike and he fell. See, these are because people expect, with a country like the United States of America, the most powerful nation in the world, you want your representative to look like the most powerful person in the world. And Biden looks frail and fragile. I'm sorry. I mean, but that's just the way it is. People are saying, well, now Biden is only 3 years older than Trump. Only 3 years old. Trump is 78. Biden is 81. So what the hell is the difference? Well, Trump looks to be more in touch with his faculties and everything than Biden does. Now they both move the same way. I mean, Biden just looks older. He looks older than Trump. He looks more than 3 years older than Trump. You know. I don't know if Trump has had work done. Probably. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. But Trump looks so much more presidential than Biden does, even though Trump is overweight, you know, Biden is not. But Biden just, when he was coming down, when he went to Rehoboth Beach, he flew to Rehoboth Beach. When he was coming down those stairs, it was painful to watch. And that wasn't all because of COVID. You know, it's a tough job, and you got to have a steel spine in order to do that job. And if you don't, it's going to be a problem. And right now for Biden, it's a problem. So I don't know. It's about 9 minutes before the hour. So we'll get ready to get out of here in a minute. Go have a cigar and chill out. Yeah, shout out to my people on LinkedIn who've been watching the Ron Kelly Show since I've been broadcasting live over there. I want to thank you, people in LinkedIn. I just keep getting these. Well, what about a job offer? I keep getting these offers of this and that. Now, I don't want any of that stuff. If you send me an offer of something I got to pay for, forget it. It's not going to happen, you know. But if you want to send me something in reference to my radio show, I'll accept it. You know, I'll accept it. But stop sending me stuff about, you know, hey, we're helping you, trying to help you. No, you're not. You're trying to help yourself. You're trying to sell something. So knock it off. But shout out to my people on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. You can go over to the Ron Kelly Show channel on YouTube and just click the subscribe button. You can kind of, you know. It is the Ron Kelly Show on TikTok as well, who we're still waiting to find out if they're going to get kicked out of America or not. Anyway, it's 7:52 right now here on the Ron Kelly Show. So tonight, Trump gives his big speech. The Trumpy speech. So you got your MAGA hats ready? You're gonna put your MAGA hat on when Trump comes on stage. You know, yeah, Trump sneakers, who the representative or someone connected with Trump said that this black folks will buy those sneakers because we like sneakers. You know, the funny thing about it is we do like sneakers. The funny thing about it, see, because all of this stuff is not wrong. All the things they say about us are not wrong. Some of the things they say about us, I mean, it might be disrespectful and, you know, but they're not always wrong about things they say about black folks. Not always wrong. Now, I don't know. I'm not going to go so far as to say the media conspires to only put black shoplifters on the newsreels. I'm not going to say that because I'm part of the media, and I'm not going to say that. But I will say, you know, if there were no black shoplifters, they wouldn't have anything to show. They would not have anything to show. You see, what shoplifting does, and black folks who shoplift are destroying the economies of the towns they live in. Because, you know, because I'm out all day mostly at work. Rite Aid's closed. Walgreens closed. I saw a couple of 7-Elevens closed because they couldn't make any money. Basically, they couldn't make any money. That's what happened. They couldn't make any money. And so they wound up having to close. And, you know, it's sad. It's sad they got to lock up they have to lock up the detergent, lock up the deodorant, lock up these things. It's sad. You got to, you know, and for those of us who are law-abiding citizens, we have to suffer because we have to wait for an attendant to come and unlock the deodorant, unlock the perfume, unlock the detergent. I'm like, man, they gotta lock up the detergent, the Tide, and the and the Febreze and all of this stuff. They have to lock that up too. I'm like amazed. And it's sad to see the video, see a black person snatching iPhones. They're only displays, stupid. Snatching the iPhones off the shelf. They only show, and like I said, if they only show a black person, we're giving them plenty of ammunition. I don't think that the news agencies conspire to only show black people. Of course not. But as a black person myself, to see that stuff is disheartening. It's bad. It's sad. It's horrible. And a lot of these stores are leaving those areas. And when those stores leave, revenue leaves. Because those stores pay taxes. They pay sales taxes to certain states. Some have none, but most have some. And it's terrible what black folks are doing. Running in the stores and, going to the Walmart and road riding out with a cart full of stuff. I mean, come on. Come on. That Walmart has its own police force now. I mean, it had to. I mean, I'm not saying that white folks don't steal or Asians don't steal. I'm not saying that they don't, because they do too. But we got to stop that victimization. We have to stop with the victimization mindset. Oh, you're doing it because I'm black? I know, you're doing it because you're stealing, not because you're black, because you're stealing. That's why they're doing it. I don't agree with everything the police do. Do I think black folks are targeted? Absolutely, 100% are targeted by the police. Yes, I do think that black folks are targeted by certain police. See, because when the police go to the academy, they don't have races written across their forehead. Now, and racism and bigotry is not going to show up in the psych test that they take. I know because I've taken it. And they don't even really ask you about racial animus. Then you get the job and now you want to go out here and terrorize black folks. Suspect them of stuff. When they come in the store, black folks come in the store, you start following them around on the camera, if not physically on the camera. You go, oh, there's a black person. So everywhere they move, you switch the camera to see where they are. Yeah, 100%. I believe that. The police victimize black people. They suspect black people more than anybody else. And I believe that the stores do the same thing. They suspect the police. They suspect black people of stuff more than anybody else. Yes, 100%. All right, so a couple of minutes before the hour. So tonight, about the Trump, which I'm going to watch, because Trump is talking about being more conciliatory. He's talking about unity. Trump, unity, this I have to watch. This I have to watch, because he's talking about unity. So we'll see. And I heard, and reports are that people are picking on J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance is the Trump VP selection. And I understand that they're picking on his wife because his wife is Indian. See, they just can't, they just don't get enough. So they're picking on J.D. Vance's wife. They like J.D. Vance, but they're not too happy about his wife. So they're picking on J.D. Vance about his wife. So we'll talk about that as well. Thank you, Lamar Gates, for your comment. Thank you, everybody, for watching the program. We'll see you back here next week for another edition of the Ron Kelly Show. So until then, I'd like to say that it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice, and that we may not have it all together, but together we can certainly have it all. Thank you so much for watching, listening, perusing, kicking my back in, whatever it is you did to watch the program. I appreciate it. And we'll see you back here for another edition next week. So until then, do take care of yourself. And let's watch Trump tonight together.